ladies and gentlemen. I got him laughing. I told him he looked good. He went to laughing. He done got me throwed off. He done got me so throwed off, I supposed to say Jazzy Red Talk Show, and I'm your host, Jazzy Red. And we've got an important dignitary here. And you seen some of him last week, but I want him to sit and explain some things. This man, he gonna tell you his name and gonna tell you how old he is, and he gonna tell you some things about civil rights, what he's done in his life. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Reverend H.K. Matthews.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 94 years old.
Wow.
Born February 7th, 1928.
Wow.
So I've been around for a minute. So.
Okay, last week we was talking about civil rights. Tell us about that. You can even start at just where you started at. Civil rights.
Okay, I began my civil rights involvement way back in the early 1960s. When we were unable to eat at the lunch counters in Pensacola. And the sit-ins were spreading throughout the South, and where black students and black people were sitting in at the lunch counters in order to get served. And the white people were refusing to serve us. And so I became involved as one of the leaders in the civil rights movement under the direction of Reverend W.C. Dobbins, who came to Pensacola as a United Methodist minister. And Reverend Dobbins' wife was a seamstress, and we had 4 5 and dime stores downtown: Woolworth, Walgreens, J.C. Penney's, and Cress's. So anyway, Reverend Dobbins went down to one of the 5 and dime stores to buy some thread for his wife. He bought the thread and went to the lunch counter to get something to eat. And they told him that they couldn't serve him because he was a Negro, and he would have to go out of the store and go around to the window to be served. Well, that didn't set too well with Reverend Dobbins, who was a young firebrand at the time. So what he did, he came back and he organized. At that time, ministers were concerned about their community more than they were about the collection plates on Sunday.
Tell it.
And so he came back and organized the Pensacola Council of Ministers. And I was not preaching at the time. I just quit drinking a year before. But he saw a potential in me, and he asked me to join up with them. I was the only non-minister in the group. So I did. And I helped him plan strategies for the sit-ins, and we conducted the picket lines outside of the 5 and dime stores while the students sat in. And during that time, the white people were going in there and they were throwing acid on the black kids. The students were taking burnt cigarettes and sticking it to the kids. The policemen, who were supposed to have been protecting everybody, were taking flashlight batteries off of the stand and sticking them in the black kids' pockets and accusing them of shoplifting.
Wow.
So arresting them for shoplifting. So these are the things that we had to go through. But we didn't limit our activities to just to sit in for the lunch counters. We expanded our work into trying to get people hired in different jobs rather than just trying to get them hired downtown, especially because all they could do at that time, the ladies, was to go in the store with a mop bucket and a bottle of Windex and a rag. So we fought to get them hired in meaningful positions. Okay. But then we expanded our activities, and of course Reverend Dobbins left the area because he was a United Methodist minister, left the area, and there was nobody to pick up the mantle of leadership. The ministers knew that I had the reputation of at least asking questions, trying to find out things. So they approached me and asked me would I assume the leadership role. And I, not reluctantly, I gladly accepted it. And so we started expanding, and of course my name started going around from place to place, and it started floating all over Florida, and it started from Florida to other states around the country. And of course, which led to my reputation as being some instances an agitator, some instances a communist, some instances icon, all kind of things. I've been called everything from everything except a child of God. But anyway, the crux of my leadership, I guess, came in 1984. First of all, 5 men from Atlanta came down to go fishing, and they never returned. They wound up being found in the Gulf. Black men. Okay. Wound up being found in the Gulf, and of course their disappearance never really caught fire in the black community, but we still to this day feel that those men were murdered, and that was one of the unsolved murder mysteries in Pensacola. Wow. And we're still fighting that. We're still fighting. That was in 1984. Okay. And then, in the same year, a cousin of mine by the name of Wendell Blackwell went out to a club in Pensacola that was Club 400, and he was with a young lady who was a part-time employee at the Pensacola News Journal. Her name was Deborah. I'm trying to think of Deborah's name. No, I can't think of her name right now. But anyway, he and Deborah were leaving the club one night, and a deputy sheriff who had a white civilian, the deputy sheriff was white, started chasing them down. We found out later the reason the chase was on is because Deborah was going with the deputy sheriff. So they stopped the car. Deborah got out and ran.
Deborah was black?
Deborah was black.
Okay.
She got out and ran. Mm-hmm. And he ordered Blackwell out of the car. And Blackwell put his hands behind his head, cuffed his hands behind his head, and Wendell Blackwell, who was a deputy, Doug Raines, who was the deputy, excuse me, please. Doug Raines, who was the deputy, ordered Blackwell out of the car, and Blackwell put his hands behind his head. Doug Raines blew his brains out from a distance of 3 feet. Wow. And we started from that night calling it murder. Deborah Jones, that was her name, Deborah Jones, sent for me and Reverend Brooks, who was the president of the NAACP at the time, to come to her house the next day. She lived in a mobile home that we found out was registered to Doug Raines. Wow. She told us that she met with us for about 30 or 45 minutes, and then she told us that she had a meeting to go to, and she wanted to meet back with us again the following day. So that was one time we talked too much. We had a press conference that evening and said that we had met with Deborah Jones and that we were going to meet with her the following day. Well, that night, her body was found thrown off of a viaduct Sandy spurs were all over. Her panties were up around her neck.
Wow.
Sandy spurs were all over her body, and they spotted a camper that was registered to Doug Raines in the area. Never did anything about it. So we were having daily and nightly demonstrations. And one night, this is after this man had made an offer to me for us to stop doing it. And after I told him that if I did, then the young people that I was leading, I would feel that they knew what I had done. And when I got up and looked in the mirror and saw myself, I would knew what I had done. So they arrested, I don't know how many of us. It was over 250 of us. But they waded into us with billy whip clubs and with nightsticks. With tear gas. And they arrested all of us and charged us all with misdemeanor and illegal trespassing. But when Reverend Brooks and I went to get bonded out, they had tacked on 2 additional charges. And the charge was extortion by threat, in that we were trying to force the deputy, or the sheriff rather, to do something against his will. They said we sang a chant that said 2468, who shall we assassinate? Wow. The chant was never sang. The chant that was sang was 2468, who shall we incarcerate? Okay. And that chant was led by another young man by the name of Reverend Jimmy Lee Savage, who took the stand at the trial, testified that Matthews did not lead the chant, but that I led the chant. But because I was public enemy number 1, okay, they were bound to get me one way or the other. Wow. So I went to trial, and an all-white jury. I'd faced many of them before, okay, but an all-white jury found me guilty, sentenced me to 5 years in the state penitentiary at hard labor. Wow. This is why I get upset when I think about the things that number 45 has said that caused the Capitol riots and caused people to get killed and all of that, and he's still running loose and running free. But they gave me 5 years. Of course, I didn't serve the 5 years. The governor at that time was a friend of mine, Reuben Askew, and he moved the cabinet to commute my sentence because he said he didn't want to give me a pardon, because if he did, that would render my case moot. Okay. And he wanted my case to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, okay, which it did. Okay. And they refused to hear it based on a technicality. Okay. So he commuted my sentence to time served. I served 30 days the first time. And then I went back and I served 33 days. And I got out on another appeal bond. And so then I appealed it to Bob Graham, Governor Bob Graham, who later became Senator Bob Graham. And he gave me a complete pardon. Wow. So, with all of my rights restored and everything. And of course, it was not a fun journey in the state penitentiary.
Did anybody send you any money? Let me ask something. Did anybody keep you money on the books while you were in there, for as the people, you've been speaking up for the people? Did anybody send you any money?
I was totally forgotten when I was in there.
Totally forgotten?
Totally forgotten. And the people who I was fighting for, a lot of them were saying, especially the preachers were saying, well, he ought to known better. Oh, wow. And they ought to keep him down now. Wow. And this is the kind of non-support that I got from the Ministerial Alliance, except because by that time after they did what they did to me, they had frightened off all of the ministers, basically. Okay. Only Reverend Otha Leverett and 2 or 3, Reverend Nathaniel Smith, Reverend K.C. Bass, Reverend James Young, and just a few ministers hung in there with me. Wow. And but anyway, when I did get out the second time, and Bob Graham gave me a total pardon, I was okay. But let me back up, let me rewind, because, there's so much that I was involved in. Because in 1965, and, I was fully immersed in the civil rights movement, but I had said to myself, when Dr. King sent out a notice for people to gather in Selma on March 6th, they had a mass meeting on March 6th at Brown Chapel in Selma. And I was a janitor at a place called the Physician's Lab. It was an office of doctors, a doctor's offices. And I said, well, if I call myself a leader locally and around, I might as well go to Selma. So I dropped my little mop bucket and took my little pink and white Ford Fairlane Ford, and made my way to Selma, because I knew about Selma because my home is in Snow Hill, Alabama, which is just 35 miles below Selma. So we went to the mass meetings. We made the plans for that night to march across that bridge on March 7th, 1965, which was on Sunday. And a lot of people said that Matthews marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge with Dr. Martin Luther King. That's not true. Dr. King was not there that Sunday. He had gone back to Atlanta. He was there on the 14th. But John Lewis and Jose Williams and so many others, that not many of us left now. Spiver Gordon up in Utah, Alabama, not many of us are sticking around now. But John Lewis took the worst beating. I being in the middle of the line, I got a few blows, but not nearly as bad as some of the other people were in there. Wow. But I guess that's one of my pride and joys, having experienced that, and also one of my nightmarish experiences, because I wondered, when they were beating us, how in the world could other human beings treat other human beings the way they were treating us? But they did, and I was talking to Spiver the other day, and I said, we need to, we've got a medal that said Foot Soldier 50.
You got your medal?
Yeah, we got a medal that says, that was for the foot soldiers, the ones who were on the bridge. That's, and I said, we ought to create a cap like they have a Vietnam veteran and all that stuff, that says, I survived Bloody Sunday, yes. March 7th, 1965. Really? But, and I'm still in it. People call me, for every little thing that comes up.
Want to know.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick this camera over and I'm going to come by you. Come here and see if you see this. I'm gonna get by here anyway. Jazzy gonna get down on the knee. See if you see me in that camera. Yep. Jazzy getting down on the knee. I want to tell you kids something. This man is a historian. I want to thank you personally for what you did. And I'm so sorry that nobody sent you nothing. I know you had family members probably did, but the people that you helped and you thought that you were fighting to, they didn't do anything. They abandoned you, but you kept going even when you got up.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being with John Lewis and all the rest of them and Martin Luther King and trying to make a difference. It means something when you make a difference. You understand? Didn't I run you down?
Yes, ma'am.
I've been wanting him for 2 years on my show. I got you now. I'm going to stay close to him. All right. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this interview. Wow, this is history, ladies and gentlemen. I got my mask all around me. I know I'm looking crazy. It's emotional to me because I was a little girl and I remember Bill Beasley and Fred Richardson and all of them trying to make it a little better for us in Mobile, Alabama. And you were in Pensacola knowing everybody. So this is a great interview. Y'all share the video. I know you're watching it on TV, but it's going to be on YouTube. We'll have his picture on there and his name. And I just want y'all to watch it and get a little history. And that'll make you all straighten up and do right.
Thank you.
All right. God bless you, man. I love you. All right. I look, my camera trying to fall on it, trying to bow down to you. Jazzy Red with this blessed man, civil rights. What's your name again? H.K. Matthews. Don't forget that. Jazzy Red, we love you. Jazzy Red Talk Show, and I'm your host, Jazzy Red. We up at Puddins Place. Now, she said breakfast. I'm up here at 6 in the morning, and look what you got. We finna show you what she got on her line. Jazzy Red. Look at the steam coming from there. Y'all know y'all hungry. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. Jazzy Red Talk Show, and I'm your host, Jazzy Red. We inside of Puddins Place, and this is cheese grits. That's cheese grits. Good, I don't know if y'all can see the steam coming up from them grits. Cheese grits. All right, right here we got the grits. Look, I eat instant grits. These are not instant grits. They are cooked grits. But you seen the cheese. These are the regular grits. Now we're gonna go with the type meat she served. Early in the morning, I'm here 6 in the morning, it's Puddin' Place. Jazzy Red Talk Show, we got white trout, fried white trout. Wow, I better get this right here right quick. What is this, Puddin'? Chicken drumlins or fried chicken drumlins? I'm getting tongue-tied, there's so much food up in here. Chicken drumlins. So you got the fish, you got the chicken. We finna show you something else. All right, now we got, hey, is these Simon patties? Yeah. Oh, they're Simon patties. Y'all know Jazzy had to ask that because we got so much meat in here. We're going to show you what she's working with now. All right, we coming up with the some more meat. Hold on a minute. Y'all, wait a minute now. This girl got fried bologna. Now, last time I know somebody cooked fried bologna sandwich was Powell's up there. She got sausages and fried bologna. And wait a minute now. Wait a minute. They just dropped it. They just dropping it. We got hot sausages, link sausages, and bacon. Look at that bacon, y'all. Y'all see the steam coming up there. This is freshly cooked every morning. And these men in the back don't give me no respect. Jazz had to run them men out of here. They were running me crazy. There was so much men in here. Baby, they is buying these breakfasts this morning. Coming in their work clothes, bringing the kids. Now we're gonna show you the eggs. Jazzy Red Talk Show, she got scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. I gotta ask her because you know I eat overlight. I gotta see if they can do that. And I know she can. Puddin', can you do overlight eggs? Yes. Oh, she can do the overlight. That's what I'm talking about. Finna show you what else she got now. Jazzy Red Talk Show. When I seen the fried bologna, she had me hooked. She got everything in here. She got rice. Some people like rice with their breakfast and grits. Because I tried rice and eggs. It's good. It's buttered rice. All right, now, wait a minute now. I'm just going to slide on up here. Look what she got, toast. She got toast. We finna get over to something I want y'all to really see here. All right, now. This is the grand finale, because we're going to show you some cakes too, but look at that. That girl got butter biscuits early in the morning at 6 o'clock. It's getting cute like that. We need some biscuits. Girl, you got some syrup. Girl, you get me some syrup, girl. Biscuits and syrup. Jazz old school. Biscuits and syrup. All right, we're going to show you some cakes too. Wow, she got biscuits. Jazzy Red, we love it. Hey, girl, them homemade biscuits there. Girl, them is homemade biscuits. That's what I'm talking about. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. Puddin got cake. Look at that cake sitting out there. Boy, that icing looks so good. What kind of cake is this, Puddin?
Pie cake with lemon glaze.
Woo, Lord. We wish you a Merry Christmas. That's some kind of stuff you eat around Thanksgiving and Christmas. But you eat this all year because you can come up here and she can cook cakes. I'm going to get Puddin to tell y'all a little something about her business after she get these customers out here because they started running. I might have to get at the cash register. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. Jazzy Red Talk Show. We have to get this working, lady. Y'all see that steam that's coming from that bar there. Tell them about your business, Puddin.
We're located right at the corner of 701 Owens and Pritchard Lane.
Okay.
We're open from 6 to 4 daily, except Mondays we're closed.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what people been calling me. They say that they don't know where Orange Street is. That street over there is Somerville, right?
Somerville.
Right. She right in front of Mobile Street, really. But it's Orange for the address. But if you come down Mobile and Somerville, that's where you'll hit it right there. Now, y'all got everything, what she's selling for breakfast, and we finna go because she got a customer. Look at her walking out, got a hair did. She must know that I was coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. We gonna end this on her meat. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. Jazzy Red Talk Show, I had to come back. Look at this lady here. Give me the name of your church.
Andrew Street Church of Christ.
Andrew Street Church of Christ gave me a lot of clothes when I went to New Orleans. We just got to say hello to this sister. What's your name, sister?
Annie Miller.
All right, Annie Miller. She done put your church out there. Jazzy Red, we love you. Wait a minute, what's your pastor's name?
Brother Peterson.
All right, then. We got you. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. Jazzy Red Talk Show, and I'm your host, Jazzy Red. I've got something I want to show you all. My kids. This is for the kids now. This is a microscope that is in this box. See this box? This is antique now. This is old. And that's what your microscope look like. But I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit more. We're going to take it out the box and I'm going to show it to you. Jazzy Red, we'll be right back. All right, kids. This is what you call a microscope. That's the bottom part. And that is the top. Now, inside of this, we also have some little things to put on here. Okay, let me see if I can get one out for you. Kids, hang in there. All right, see this? All right, see those? See those? You pull one out and you'll sit it on top of there. And that's what you'll look through with your eye. Okay? This is old. Y'all can see it's probably, it was dusty and I wiped it off and still is dusty. I wiped it off, but it still got some dust on it. Now, I got to show the kids what we do. Also, I want you to see this. See those are slides. Those are slides. And a little liquid you put on the slide. Because we used to put like a butterfly wing if we found one somewhere, you know. And we would put them slides up under here. We put them slides up under there. I'm just trying to show my babies something. I want y'all to see something. Hold on a minute. Now, when we would take the slide out, if I can take a slide out, there's a slide. Now, we would take that and take another slide, if I can get another slide out, and put a little solution on it. Here's some of the solution, okay? And we would put it in between there, and we would place this under there, pull that back, place it under there, and then put that clip on top of there. Jazz trying to do it with one hand, y'all. We put that clip on there, and that's how we would look through that top there, and we zoom it down or zoom it up. See, it's going up. That's how we would focus. There were no lights on these. This is a Monolix microscope. There were no lights. We were glad to just look at it. We was able to see some stuff. But some of them, the new ones now got lights on them, okay? They have lights on them. Along with this old case on the other side, because you remember now, kids, what we looked through, they're there. But they had another little drawer here. If Jazz can get the drawer out, y'all hold on. I don't know if I can get that drawer out of there. Okay, there it is. It had some microscopes in it too. See that little drawer? Boy, we were so happy to go to science class, kids, and look at that microscope and beam down in it, and we could see it. It would magnify it, you know. Also, you could turn these little things around, see? And we'd focus in. Boy, we thought we was real scientists. Well, Jazzy just took you all back in history, because your mom and your pop and your grandmother, they know what Jazzy talking about with this microscope. We didn't have one. This is very old now. We didn't have one in the 60s with a light on it. I don't even remember in the 70s with a light, 8th or 9th grade, 10th. This was what you see is what you get. So you had to get toward the light or the light at the school, but we could see our specimen that was on this. We can see it. Now it also got a mirror. It's got a mirror on the bottom. Let me show you the mirror. Also got a mirror on the bottom. See that mirror? It's got a mirror on the bottom. Baby, we thought we was real scientists. We thought we had it going on. And science and psychology. That's what I thought was going to be my major. But anyway, this is a microscope. This is what a microscope look like, kids. This right here. Jazzy Red. Taking you a little back in history. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. Jazzy Red Talk Show. Rehoboth Missionary Baptist Church. The pastor Gregory West, Sister Elizabeth West, and Maskey Archibald from Atlanta. That's the sheriff from Atlanta. Well, he'll be in town Wednesday, the 23rd, November the 23rd, 2022. They're giving away a full Thanksgiving dinner. Please spread the word. They says we are here to serve those that are in need. No, they don't want anybody to be left out. No family member, the homeless. First come, first serve, and they'll see you there. This is 1320 Center Street, Mobile, Alabama. They've got a Thanksgiving dinner going on. This is one of their flyers that I got. Hopefully you see it, but we got it going across the screen. Now, the time will be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is for anybody. They here to serve. Y'all know Gregory West, this is his 13th year, Pastor West. This is his 13th year of giving out groceries and food and feeding people. And in the beginning, they did so much it'll give you a headache, because he even was giving away clothes. But this is their annual Thanksgiving dinner. Remember now, Wednesday the 23rd, that is November, Wednesday the 23rd, 2023. Rehoboth Baptist Church, that's 1320 Center Street, Mobile, Alabama. Come out. Come out now. We got that chef, Malik Archibald from Atlanta, is going to be here with his famous signature dressing. Mouth-watering already. Y'all come out to Rehoboth Missionary Baptist Church. We love Gregory West, Pastor Gregory West. We love you. You do so much. You and your wife, I'm there and I see it. Mondays and Wednesdays, he give out groceries. But I want you all to come out to the annual Thanksgiving dinner. All right, Rehoboth Baptist Church, spread the word, tell everybody. Jazzy Red, we love you. Come out and get you something to eat. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. Jazzy Red Talk Show. This is the Book Avenue. It is the people, the place, the memories, 1799 to 1986. The author is Paulette Davis Harden. And she wrote this book years ago, but it'll always, it don't have shelf value. You're always going to be able to buy this book, because we're going to always remember the Avenue, Davis Avenue, which is Martin Luther King now, but it's Avenue. If you would like a copy of Paulette's book, You can purchase this book at English Bookstore, or you can call Paulette Harden. I've got her phone number going across. We're going to show you a couple of pictures in here. All right, you know who this is? This is Dr. James A. Franklin. James A. Franklin. Wow. Y'all can Google Dr. Franklin. He came to Mobile in 1919. And for 43 years, he served the people in need with medical services. Wow. Google him, kids. James A. Franklin. That was Dr. Franklin. Also, she has Abrams Barbershop. It was there for it was there 80 years. Served Davis Avenue for 80 years. Wow. Abrams Barbershop. If you remember this picture here, this was Mary's grocery store. Wow. She was a female entrepreneur on Davis Avenue. Mary West and her grocery store. Always had that long hair and that one plait just wrapped around the top of her head. That lady had some long hair. That is Mary's grocery store. I'll never forget her. You all have got to get this book. She's got all the businesses that was on the avenue in here. Hold on a minute. You all remember that you can go to English Bookstore and get this book. Also, you can call Miss Paulette Harden. Her phone numbers are going across the screen. Paulette Harden is the author of 5 books. Okay? Hopefully we can get her on the show. She's so busy. She's an RN. She retired. She's back at work. She was helping during COVID. She said she had to go back to help. Go out to English Bookstore and get this book. Or call Paulette Harden. Phone number going across the screen. Jazzy Red. We love you.